we're onto the identification side of it to identify roughly what Dahlias, what they are, and we'll start with a. If I put this down, and I'll pick up a cactus one, you can see the difference. It almost comes right up to here, which is supposed to be half. It doesn't matter if it goes a fraction over it, but that's what a fine petaled cactus is. So that is a cactus. That is a semi-cactus over there. It's all about the shape of the actual petal. If you zoom in on the top of it now, you can really see the difference. In a minute we'll get to the decorative ones, which are blunter on still than they are. So I'll put that down there. I'll put here a cactus, which is it's not a real good cactus, but it's there for a purpose, to show you how fine and how pointy it is. Now we're looking at, and it has a very good centre. If you look at that centre, it's right in the middle. It's a beautiful cone centre, and fills out around it as it comes out, but you can really see what it is. Now we move on to next. We have the fimbriated cactus. This is it's judged as a cactus, and on the actual petals, end of the petals, you'll see here that it has like a thumb and two fingers. That's virtually, this is to explain the identification of it, so that's about all you need with that. Or if you were shown that, it should have a brush centre. I'm not going to go into too much detail with it, because the purpose on this one is just to identify the different types of Dahlias. Now we go over here. This is the best I've got, which is not real good. There's an exhibition cactus, and as you'll see, this is real raggedy. The petals should come forward. The actual petalage from the point right back to the actual bud at the back of the actual centre, it should be like a big curl all the way back. That is an exhibition flower. Now if we go to the next one, once again, this is not a good flower by any means. It's a very poor flower actually, but it's just there to the purpose to show you, if you see one of those, then you'll know that's a Stella. And if you take particular notice which way the actual petals fold. They fold upwards. I won't use the fancy word for it because it makes it harder. This purpose, as like I said, is just for you to identify what it is. The actual fold is upwards, and they fold back like a mushroom out of a cone centre. Whereas the cactus fold the opposite way. If you go back, you'll pick it up over here. And if I hold this up, it folds the opposite way to that. If I put this into here, the wrong way up, it matches. We're up to the decorative side now. I haven't put any big ones out here. I've got them, but I've left them out for a reason. Too many get the difference between the big ones. Well, they sort of explain themselves. This is the best way I think of explaining the informal, the formal, and the semi-deck. Because a lot of them get mixed up with the actual petalage going back to the actual stem and laying back, they get mixed up and think it's a formal. In fact, it's not. This flower here, as you see, the petals, well, although they go back, it's an informal. because they are crinkly. They're all out of shape. They don't lay back flat, which makes that an informal decorative. We go over here, and this one here, there's the front of it, if I turn that around, they do fall backward. But the next flower, which is I've put in here, really shows you the formal. See then the actual petalage laying back. Right back to the actual stem. Now that's a formal, that is an informal. The petalage has got twists in it, or out of which is not smooth and doesn't come back, is an informal, and that really shows you, that highlights it there. Although it goes back, it shows you that it's not. Now here we have a semi-decorative, and as you can see against the one next to it, which I'll turn back around again in a minute, it is more pointy on the actual petal. It's not a ball, because we've got the ball here next to it, and as you can see, this is a ball. Each petal is shaped like a ball. Not the flower, the petal itself. So you can see the difference now. If I turn this one back around, and you see the actual petalage, how this one here is sharper than that one. So there's your semi, there's your ball. Now the next one along is a pom, and as you can see, the pom has a different petalage again. If you pull out a petal out of a ball, which I'll do, I've got two instead of one. That's the petalage out of the ball dahlia, as you can see, where shape it is, pretty round, and just a little V down there. Now if I was to put that next to the pom, you can really see the difference in the pom. The pom petal is more suppressed, and it's completely circular. So there's the difference between the ball. So you've got a ball, a pom, a ball, a semi-deck, a formal deck, another formal deck but not as pronounced as this one, and an informal deck. On to the another run. We have a water lily, and as you can see, the water lilies are all cupped. There should be no more than about 5 rows of petals. That's full size florets, and actually you can see it actually represents a water lily. I suppose it's not a true water lily, because if you see one in the pond it's a little more pointy than that, but that's what we class as a water lily. You can see the petals cupped forward. The one next to it is a poor example of a collarette. The collarette's got a collarant, as you can see, in the centre, and 8 petals, flat petals on the outside. They should be flat as possible, flat as you can get them. The actual collar should be no more than half the size of the, around about half the size of the flower. That's a bit light on the collar. Just one we picked out of the garden to actually show you what a collar it is. The one next to it is very similar, but it has no collar. It is simply what we class as a single flower. No, that's not as because it's got one. It's just a what we call a single. You can really see on this one how flat the petals are. The collarette should have this type petals on it with the collar. That is the correct amount of petals there. There's 8. I won't go into any details of how you dress them and all that, because this is just the purpose of, once again, of telling you what it is. We've got an anemone next to it. This has got the little trumpets in a dome in the centre. Once again, it's got the 8 petals at the back, and you have like little trumpets in the actual front of it. Once again, it's half the size of the flower. That's getting close to it, but this is, you know, as I said, the next will be just to show you what it is. And the last one, of course, here is an orchid. And of course, there's no surprise you can see that is an orchid. Once again, it should have 8 petals, which that has. They should open up flat like that, and each one should run to a point on the end. Actually, that's quite a good example. That's quite a good one. Probably a little bit gap in between that, but we won't go into that. Yeah, that's an orchid dahlia.